What's up, everybody? Fsocl here, coming at you with the third week of the Fantasy Strike Online Championship of Legend. We got a 12-person tournament this week, so not expecting too long of a broadcast here, but got some big names. You know, some of the top-ranking players are consistently entering, so we should definitely see some exciting matches, especially as we progress through the tournament. First match I'm going into is Fsocl versus a new player who happens to be an Angry Viking. As soon as Angry Viking hops in here, this game's going to get underway. As usual, best of 3 until we hit grand finals, which goes to best of 5. Single elimination. I guess quickly, while we're waiting, we can take a look at the bracket here. First round matches is Who's versus Southpaw Hare. Fsocl versus an Angry Viking. Royal Lance versus Plumlum. Clan, I'm actually call him Clan Nation, because I don't think Natioi is really a pronounceable, it's not a word. And then we have Ida Goido, or something like that. A few new entrants this week, people we haven't seen yet. Mostly returning players, though. So far, I think the only people that have entered all of these, including this week, are Zem, Deluxe, Royal Lance, Fsocl, and maybe Clan. I'm not sure about Clan. I think so. I've entered all 3 of these so far, and everyone else has either missed 1 or 2. But anyway, game got underway here. So, okay, that's it's pretty rough. So, Angry Viking, I don't know much about him. I don't know much about, his experience or anything like that. But he happened to pick the good matchup here. Gwen does very well against Troc. Gwen is a character who has many fast attacks, a lot of which are hard to exploit, even by the special abilities of Troc. Like, Troc has a move that beats normal attacks 5.0 or faster. He's got another, or rather a throw. And he's got his Jack, which beats normal attacks. But Gwen has a mix of very fast normals and very fast special attacks, which can constantly keep Troc on his toes. See, this is a perfect example of that. Troc goes for a rather defensive play of the Bull Charge, trying to just get a quick 10 damage in, assuming Gwen's going to go for some kind of normal attack or maybe a throw. But just eats the Queen to the face for 10 damage. At a 0.0 speed, you're not really going to get much better than that. Interesting that an Angry Viking used his Jack to pump up that Shadow Slice. Shadow Slice, you can pump an extra card in it, any card, for 4 more damage. And he chose his Chains of Ice, which is a pretty good card. You can combo with it for 5 damage for 1 combo point. Or if you use it as a starter, you can get the Chains of Ice ability if you happen to win. And that's very powerful. So interesting to see him go for that. Normally, Gwen wants to save that in most matchups, but I especially think versus a character like Troc, who hits hard but doesn't hit very frequently, you really want to just have powerful combo fodder available, such as the Links of Ice, because whenever you hit him, you want to make sure it hurts, as opposed to only having weak combos. Because when he hits you, it hurts very badly. So you want to make sure when he's not winning, he's dying quickly. And this unsorted hand is not really the easiest thing to talk about. I will say he does have 2 jokers, which is awfully powerful. He opts to throw with a 10 over a 9 there. I can't think of... Well, he gets the auto face down, but I was gonna say I can't think of why you would really do that instead of just throwing with a 9. I guess he'd rather just have the normal block than the Glorious Remedy block, but that's interesting considering he already has normal blocks available. Okay, goes for the 16 damage follow-up on that throw. Grand total of 22 damage. It's pretty darn efficient. Gwen is a character who, if you have the right cards in hand, any hit you get is going to lead to a lot of damage. But if you don't manage your hand well, a lot of your hits are very unimpressive. So as we can see right now, if he were to land that throw again, he would have very, very minimal damage. He could get like 2, 3, 4 off of it, or he could blow his entire hand to pump up a king. But that doesn't seem great either. So he opts to just go for the little damage here, which makes sense. Also, it's worth noting that King is probably Gwen's best combat card in the matchup. On top of being 1.2 speed linker, so you can get a full combo off of it, it also deals 3 chip damage and lets Gwen abuse her innate, which basically, if she has a couple normals in hand, but she's got them most of the time, she can just eat through Troc's blocks, so that way he doesn't even get to attach them to his character card. And blocking an attack is already pretty difficult for Troc to pull off, and the fact that sometimes when you block, you're not even going to get to trigger your innate off, that's really bad for him. So the king is something we got to watch out for. Wow. Opts for the queen instead of the king here. Even though he has a pretty nice combo he can do. He can do king 4, 5, 6 if he wanted. Maybe pump with like an extra 8 randomly or anything like that. But instead goes for the queen, which happened to beat out Trog's queen in that particular case. So I'm not sure if that was some kind of great read, or maybe he's just not aware of just how good his king is. I mean, he pumps with the king, so I'm assuming he has no idea what he's doing, because you would just never do that in any universe ever. But we'll see how it ends up working out. Oh man, Thelo's drawn a lot of face cards in the early game here. He's I mean, look at this. that's quite the concentration of face cards, I must say. All right. Yeah. So, just trying to figure out what. Whoa! Another king. Jeez. An angry Viking has to win huge every turn for the rest of the game. Excuse me, yawning. Always happens whenever I start talking later in the day. But yeah. He has to win every combat with a huge amount of damage, otherwise he's gonna die to his own innate ability. Taking 2 damage every draw phase is gonna kill him at this rate. Oh yeah, that's very smart. So Philo goes for the War Stomp here to knock Gwen down to minimize her options, because he's worried that she can dodge into like Dreadlands portal or something like that, which would be enough damage where she could conceivably end the game before she loses to her own innate. Whoa, Gold Burst, that makes no sense. No. You can't Gold Burst. He needed to play a queen there. He had no choice. He had to deal damage. If he played a queen there, he could still win. But now he basically can't. And he also just Gold Burst her for 1 ace. It's pretty funny. I've actually never seen someone Gold Burst for 1 ace before. But, yeah, he's going to power up now? I don't think so. So definitely a newer player, which is fine. I mean, you got to start somewhere. Pretty gutsy to start in a tournament. So yeah, he absolutely must deal humongous damage this turn. That's not going to do it, unfortunately. Wow, Philo even threw. Why would you throw? Why would you throw there? So the reason why throwing there was atrocious is because the only way Gwen can ever deal 53 damage in 2 turns is by attacking. At least once. She has to attack you at least once, or she's not dealing 53. She can't. She can't deal 53 in 2 turns without attacking. So the fact that he opened himself up to attacks makes negative sense. And he should never do that. Ever. I'm pretty sure he actually just had the game locked up if he blocked the next 2 turns. Because the max Gwen can do off of a throw is just like 6, and then it's 22, and then add a 6. Yeah, actually, the max. Okay, so I guess the max she could do if she had. Trying to think, what does more damage? She got like 16, 22. So she can. Okay, she can actually do 56 in 2 turns of normal throws, if she has the optimal combo both times. So he could have technically won off of 2 throws, but it's much more likely that he's going to win off of an attack. So that's a little risky in my opinion. Anyway, opening this game, because that game went by awfully fast. Going into this one, Troc got a great start. Gwen decided to dodge on turn 1, which is a little weird. I'm not sure what he was looking to dodge into necessarily. Normally you want to save dodges for when you have a very powerful follow-up, such as like a Dreadlands portal, 22 damage, something like that. But here in this case, he really didn't have very much max damage off of one hit. So I'm not sure what he was hoping to hit with there. Um, in any event, gets thrown again. Okay, things are not going well at all. He swings with a 5, which is kind of just way, 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 way worse than swinging with Chains of Ice. Um, so he really should have just swung with Chains of Ice there, because if he gets Chains of Ice blocked, not only does he get 5 chip damage, which is pretty significant, but he also gets to use his innate with these 2 5s he had, and so he could have gotten 10 damage in, and Troc wouldn't have attached his block, but instead gets none of that, and is just in a worse spot for it. Ends up discarding that other 5 anyway. So overall, there's definitely some rookie mistakes being made over here, but I think Gwen's a smart choice for a newer player because she draws so many cards. She often has the options she needs. So it's nice to be able to play what you think is going to work often, which is a trait that Gwen has due to her immense amount of cards she's drawing. Okay, combos into the queen when he has Jack Ace Ace in hand and pumps with the Jack. Okay. The correct combo to do there would be you could have your choice. You could either just go throw into Dash Gorger for 22 or no 24, or if you wanted, oh no, it is 22. Yeah, 22. Um, or you could go into Links of Ice first for an extra 5 damage. And he top deck the third ace, goes to the Dreadlands portal, which is not a strong play against Troc, because Troc has so many throws that outspeed it. It's just not nearly as threatening as a combat option. But Viking goes for it here. It doesn't pay off, and at this point the game's just about over. This is gonna hurt really badly. He's gonna get 17 damage off of this, and that's gonna put Gwen in danger really quickly, especially because he has 2 jacks and a queen, which are pretty darn good for winning combats here. So I'm gonna be very impressed if Viking can make a comeback here. Ooh, he also drew 2 war stomps. That's pretty darn good. He could even play one of those right now. Yeah, I don't think that was much of a difficult decision there. Right now, he can either go for the pretty safe but pretty obvious queen. Gwen's knocked down, so going for your fastest attack, just it's like a safe time to do so because he can't get dodged. However, he could just go for like a normal throw here, which would combo for 15 damage. Oh, he's gonna go for the normal throw. Okay. So it turned out that no matter which he opted for, was going to lose. However, I think Thelo's happier losing out on his 4 than he would have been losing out on his queen. So I think that still ended up being better for him than, or it was better for him than losing his queen would have been. So I think he's not too upset about that. Although he did not get to make very, very good use of his war stomp. Okay, and here comes the queen. Gets blocked, which is good. But the problem is that any chip damage at this point adds up pretty quickly because Gwen's losing life every turn anyway. Like, at this point, if both of these bull charges hit, Theo's going to win the game. Because Gwen's going to lose... Gwen's going to lose enough life to have that 20 damage killer by the time it lands. And, okay, he's actually just going to go for a surprise Eagle Totem here. Oh, gets blocked by Glorious Remedy. Okay. So we still have a game. Glorious Remedy, for those not familiar, heals you for 6 and negates any chip damage or anything like that. So, very powerful tool to keep Gwen alive when she would be otherwise in checkmate scenarios or near checkmate scenarios. It gives her a lot more time to win combats. Okay, here we go. Bull Charge, beating out a 4. Bringing him back down to what's going to be 14 life before next combat. So once again, he's in danger of dying. We'll have to see if Viking can pull together some huge combos and make the correct reads to not get hit. That's his only chance of winning this game. But honestly, with only 8 cards in hand, I'm not sure that it's really possible anyway. And a War Thumb. I wonder if Theo's just going to use that. Okay, he decides not to. Oh, gets the dodge on the burn barrow. So if there's not a Joker here, then the game is just over. All Theo's going to do is bolt charge and then block. And okay, so this game is actually over now. There's nothing Gwen can do. All Theo has to do is block next turn, and Gwen cannot deal 79. So Gwen is gonna just die. No need to do anything else. Gonna War Stomp because why not? But absolutely no need to do so. The only way he could lose, actually, the only conceivable way for him to lose this game, is if he triggered a Glorious Remedy, and he's gonna trigger a Glorious Remedy. I just had to poke fun at Thelo for doing the only option that could conceivably lose him the game. That's somewhat of a taunt, although Angry Viking probably does not realize it. So yeah, that was kind of a fast one. I wouldn't exactly call that a barn burner, but you know, you got to start somewhere. And kudos to Angry Viking for opting in the tournament. Didn't have the strongest showing, but I'm sure give him a week or two, and we'll be seeing a lot scarier things from him. Also, there's a lot of password lobbies going on right now. Well, this game says hype on it, so I got to join that one. All right, let's see how hype it is. Okay, sorry, I just had to yell at Hooves for having hands on at an unpassworded lobby, which is explicitly against the rules because it allows for cheating, and that's just not okay. So, anyhow, into the action. It looks like we have a Gwen versus Geiger game going on here. This is another pretty good match for Gwen. Geiger, a lot of his strength comes from his pretty fast and safe face cards, mainly his king and his jack. But Gwen has attacks that outclass both of those. So a lot of Geiger's defensive tools are gone in this match, and he has to rely on making really good guesses, which is pretty tough because you know, he doesn't have great damage usually in his hand. He has to build it up, and we have to build up damage in order to really make your guesses worthwhile. Versus a character who's drawing a ton of cards, it gets pretty ugly pretty fast. As we can see here, Southpaw is down a game already and is not looking good at all in the second game. Just lost his temporal distortion. He went for the eighth throw just to try to get a TD combo off, but Hoof sniffed it out with and countered with a Shadow Slice. As we can see, his combo wasn't even going to be that good because, like I mentioned, Geiger typically has to build up for a while, which is really hard against Gwen. So having not built up a large hand, he really doesn't have that much going on. Oh, that's terrible. Gets his Flash Gear, which is his best move outside of his aces. Flash Gear is his best move in the match. Gets it special block, so not only does it's not gonna find the mark, it's also gonna heal Gwen. So that did not really work out as he had hoped. Finds another temporal distortion, but doesn't have the damage to really make it that scary. He also has no time spirals in the discard, so he's probably going to be tempted to use one this turn, um, just to uh, just to have something to target this with. But in any event, he goes for the very risky throw, and it gets met by a king, which much like the Troc match, this king is very deadly in this match. And that is a boatload of damage, and in fact, it's 30 exactly. Alright, so that's going to be 2-0 for Hooves. So Gwen triumphs at least half the time, according to the evidence of this tournament. We'll hop into the clan match. We got clans up a game. Oh, we got a lot of Troc. A lot of Troc, a lot of Gwen, apparently. Just take a sip of my water. Drink water, folks. It's good for you. PSA brought to you by Fsocl. Anyway, just catching up on where we are in the tournament and everything, making sure everyone's on the same page. But yeah, we got. Okay, so landing a king here is pretty significant because he does have moral high ground active, so 12 damage for one card is nearing Degrey levels, which may be not the most descriptive term, but what I mean by that is just enormous card efficiency that only Degrey can really achieve. So if he gets a couple more hits like that, he's right back in this game. And with Clan at 38 life, he can certainly win this game in 2 combats, depending on what he has in his hand. Okay, he swung for the fences with a 9 throw, which probably would have led into a combo for at least upper teens, like maybe like 18 or more. But probably 19. He could have like throw 5-6 or throw 4 jack, or even just throw jack is pretty powerful. Could have done any of that stuff, but we're never gonna find out because throw failed, ran into a charging bull. Ooh, that's a pretty nasty combination. So Degrey uses Troublesome Relic. Whoa! Whoa! I've never seen that before. Never seen a Degrey discard a jack to anything ever in the history of the game. But does it here? Ooh. Okay, so he was trying to set up like a mind game trap there, where he wanted to convince Troc to block, but Troc not falling for that, just mashes on the bull rush button, catches the Degrey with his pants down. Oh, okay, so Clan's got this one, 2-0 it looks like. And then we have okay, apparently Royal Lance won the other game. Unless he's trolling, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's not. Alright, next round underway. I think we're gonna watch Div Grape and Royal Lance. Alright, so we're gonna hop into Div Grape versus Royal Lance here. Trying to get some variety on the stream. You know, since we have repeat contestants here, I'm trying to spread the camera around a bit. Try to Try to get some players who we haven't seen enough of on stream. Okay, so lobby's all set up. He was just worried that he possibly didn't have hands on. So we're gonna have Lum versus Grave. This is a very classic match from Yomi 1. Was Grave's advantage before due to Grave having a counter, which is really huge because Lum's best threat is Poker Flourish, which can deal up to 21 out of combat. Well, I can deal more than 21, but for most cases, is going to deal up to 21 out of combat damage at the low cost of 1 or 2 aces, depending on how you set it up. So that's very powerful, and against many characters is a huge reason why Lum is allowed to turtle, and the other character has the burden of killing Lum before it's too late, because they have no way of really stopping that if the game goes on too long. But against Grave, due to his counter, Grave doesn't have to worry about the game going long and him dying to poker flourishes, meaning that Lum has to just straight up kill him with combat damage, which, while he is fine at, he's not spectacular. His attacks are very good, but his throws are very lackluster. They don't have tremendous card efficiency, and they also don't knock down, so they don't set up his next turn's offense that well. So in general, he needs to bait Grave into throwing at the wrong times and run his attacks into Grave's throws for large damage. Here he actually did so. He got 10 damage off of it, which is not fantastic. However, it still paid off decently. He's going to get to roll the dice here. So he ended up, for that 10 damage, he ended up spending 0 cards because his 4 got triggered normal draw, so it replaced itself. And then he rolled the dice to retrieve his king back. So he ended up not losing anything from that combo. So that's pretty good for him. Here, it looks like Graves finally found his lightning trap, which is his jack that continues to recur to his hand if it gets blocked. So it's a problem you have to deal with. You either have to dodge it or outspeed it, or you could just run into it with a slower attack or throw. But in that case, you take 8 damage, which is whoa. Okay. So forget everything I said about Grave having counters, because he just powered up 3 of them, so he's gonna have none whatsoever. But what he does have, though, on the other hand, is True Power of Storms, which is a nice little 45 damage attack. Very threatening. You can play it in combat. It trades or beats every one of Lum's attacks. So, Lum really has to be worried about it as a combat card, which opens up Graves' ability to throw, because Lum's going to often dodge or block in the face of True Power Storms. However, in this case, because D-Grape has a Joker, we might see him take more risks and hope that Royal Lance was trying to hit confirm it. And by that I mean, rather than risk it in combat, try to play a normal attack or a dodge, which combos into it, which can be jokered. See, as we see here, even if that were to hit, it could end up actually causing Royal Lance to lose his jokers, or rather to lose his aces, because if that 2 hit, Deep Grape could face down with his Joker, and then it's possible that Royal Lance plays his True Power Storms into that Joker and loses his aces. So we have to see if he's gonna keep trying to hit confirm it, or if he's gonna just try to play it in combat. Okay, he does go for another hit confirm off of dodge this time. So once again, if that dodge was successful, it could have ended up in the loss of his aces. Okay. Now he finds a 7, so he's immediately going to activate that so he can see what he's up against, and he is not going to be pleased about seeing 2 jokers in Lum's hand. Lum drawing jokers is really excellent because it means that his blackjacks can never get messed up by a random joker off the top, and he'll never lose them to roll the dice, so his opponent will never know that he doesn't have one of them. So I mean, in this case, he knows he has both of them. So against Grave, it's slightly less important, but it's always bad to give your opponent information about what you may or may not be holding. At least true information. It's great to give him false information. False information wins games, but that's much more advanced and hard to get into when there's a lot of other things to consider before you're worried about meta tricks like that. And right now, um, Royal Lance is kind of being a chicken. Like he's playing things like Dragonheart, which actually it sounds weird in a way, in a lot of ways, but it's almost useless to play this card because if you actually think it's gonna hit, like it beats and loses to all of the same things as True Power Storms. So if you actually have any confidence in your play at all, you should just play the True Power Storms. And if you don't have any confidence in your play, then oftentimes the best thing to do, especially against a character with weak throws such as Lum, is to just block. Because if he blocked, then rather than lose your queen and draw him extra cards, the worst that's going to happen is you're going to get thrown for 6 to 10 damage, which just really is not that. It's just not that bad. And there's a high chance, due to the fact that he knows you have True Power Storms, that he's not going to be willing to throw. So overall, it's just a lower variance play to just go for the block there. And Royal Lance still turtling up. So this is a case of um, neither player is willing to just take a big gamble on the True Power Storms, and what we're getting is a very silly looking game where both players have incredible amounts of threats in their hand and are very stocked up, yet no one's really making a move. But that's the kind of game warping power that True Power Storms has, so it happens. Man, that new Rolling Panda art, it just pops. Also, he ends up staying on 13, which is... Oh, well, he would have busted, so beautiful decision. Hindsight 2020. Perfect call. For those of you not familiar with the blackjack effect on Lum's Ace, you really just play blackjack, and then you can deal as much damage as your total was. Oh! Gets a rare blackjack dodge. 5 is not a bad start. 2 is even better. 3 is even better, and gets the 20. You can get 21 even with no aces in your deck, but it's remarkably hard. You basically have to get just a crazy combination of normals, or you could just go 5, 6, 10. But that's only if you're running like a god. I'm aware there's more combinations than just 5, 6 that equal 11. You don't have to correct me. But I think by saying that, I might have just saved myself some silly, sarcastic comments directed my way. And yeah, so we're still just playing the game of chicken here. The only difference is that Deep Grape managed to land some nice damage. Okay, so Royal Lance. One thing that benefited Royal Lance from all this blocking back and forth is that Grave has strong throw combos, but he has to build up to them. So having that window to build up his hand means that his throws are a lot scarier, which is good because due to the fact that his attack is so threatening, you're often going to see blocks and dodges come out of the opponent. So if you have punishing throws also, then they don't know what to defend against, and you can mix them up for a whole lot of damage. And here Dave Grape is setting up a Poker Flourish the hard way. He's going to only end up with one ace in his hand after all said and done. But he's going to get a chance to deal up to 21 damage here, so... See what he gets off this blackjack here. Oh no! He hits and busts. I'm not sure what the odds of that were, and there's really no way I'm going to be able to calculate them in time, but I do know that that really sucked for him. That's my official analysis of that situation. Oh, gets the gold burst. That's huge. He now gets another blackjack, actually, for that. I wonder if Royal Lance is going to assume he has the other joker, or if he's going to assume that he risked his only joker on the burst. Takes the 14. Doesn't want to repeat. He's probably going to have nightmares about that. He could have had Royal Lance at 13 right now. Oh, he swings and misses. Goes for the 45 damage to the face. Instead gets 1/45 of that. He got 1/145 of his total damage there. It's not bad, you know. At least he got something, right? Okay, we have counter gold burst now. So this is pretty important for Royal Lance because now he has an opportunity to grab a another True Power of Storms, giving him another chance to really take this game down. Also, Jackpot here could randomly get 7 damage. Nope. Misses on the 12 card hand, or 13 card hand, excuse me. Oh, okay. So, this game is getting pretty close now because 46 is not actually all that healthy against a fully stocked Grave. True Power Storms is quite the card, or quite the attack, I should say, considering it's 3 cards to play. Yeah, and as we can see, Deep Grape is strongly considering going for the Blackjack dodge here because he's very scared of that True Power Storms coming out. And it does, and he gets the Blackjack dodge, so that couldn't have been any worse. This is a more general rule in Yomi, where if your opponent isn't showing that they're respecting your cards, then you should punish them. But if they are showing that they're respecting your cards, you should play around. You should play around that. Like here, we've seen Deep Grape play extremely conservatively against the threat of True Power Storms, which means that you should be throwing a lot as Grave because your throws hurt pretty bad, and it's exploiting the one weakness of Lum's strategy. But if you don't exploit that by throwing a lot, then he's just gonna be able to get away with it and beat you with a very straightforward and clean cut plan. And okay, so Royal Lance he's not had his last say yet. He's got another True Power Storm, so the good old 3 True Power Storms game. Let's see if he can connect on the third one. One thing that Deep Grape should be noting is that he just spent a lot of his dodges to get those aces back in his hand. So it's likely that Grave does not have very many dodges left. And as we can see, he has 0. So it's something worth noting that there's a higher likelihood of him going for a throw or attack here than it would be of him going for a dodge. However, throw attack is his best mix-up anyway, so it's not that helpful right now. Snagging a blackjack here is gonna put this game into it. Whoa, what? King? And it gets jokered? Okay. I think both of those plays are a little weird. It seems like oh, he had no deck left. Did not notice that. Probably should have been paying more attention. Well, in that case, yeah, Joker makes some sense there. When you're gonna have your opponent down to 0 cards in hand, and there's absolutely nothing they can do about it except not combo you, in which case they get an extra turn. That's not the best. And we have a counter pick over to Argagarg here, which is notoriously one of Lum's worst matches. Not only does Argagarg have an incredibly efficient counter to deal with Poker Flourish, but more importantly, Argagarg is a character who does not need a huge hand size to play offense. So Lum's Turtle style really is not that effective because Argagarg can throw him around all the time early game if he doesn't start attacking back. And that's where the true problem comes in, is because once you start attacking Argagarg to try to stop his throws, you run into Bubble Shield, which is his most devastating card to have win pretty much. I mean, gaining damage immunity and dealing 4 damage every turn is just such a huge deal for Arg that it pretty much warps the match into this weird like just horror show for Lum, where he doesn't know whether he should try to poke out a throw or try to just avoid Bubble Shield by blocking or going for a throw of his own. It's also worth noting, for those of you who are not maybe as familiar with all the characters' properties, Lum does have faster throws than Argagarg, both in decimal point and what ranks of cards they're on. Arg's throws are 6 through 10, or 7 through 10, excuse me, and they are 0.8 speed, so 7.8, 8.8, etc. Lum has throws on 6 and then 8, 9, 10 at x.4 speed, so they're both faster if they play the same rank, and Lum has the 6th throw, which trumps any of Argarg's throws anyway. As we can see here, both of them playing their fastest throw, and Lum wins. So that was pretty nice, pretty convenient of the players to exactly illustrate what I'm talking about. Also, I'm getting some frame rate issues, I feel. Make sure everything's okay here. It seems like it's fine now. Maybe it was just like a weird thing my computer was doing. I don't know. Anyway, back to the match. So, yeah, here we finally see the Bubble Shield get taken down. Or I guess there was another one that got taken down too, but I was too busy talking about other things. Also, it's interesting to see that Deep Grape is pumping up his throws a lot. Pumping your throws as Lum is kind of a mixed bag. On the one hand, your throws are not threatening, so adding more damage to them is nice because it does make your opponent have to second guess more, like, do I really want to get thrown for 15 damage? but at the same time, it's very card inefficient. 3 damage per one card is just about as bad of a deal as you can get in Yomi. So yeah, it's kind of something you don't want to do too often. So interesting to see him going for that a lot here. Ooh, R goes for the poke, which is not all that common really, especially not a 4 poke, which is fairly slow. And Ket's blackjack dodge. I've seen more blackjack dodges in these couple games than I have in a while. It's not the most common thing, generally speaking, but Deep Grape Like said he's been making it work, so perhaps these other people are just doing it wrong. Sure, they wouldn't be happy to hear that. And yeah, this is just going horrible for Arg right now. Despite having a character matchup advantage, he's just getting outplayed right now. Just so many combats are going Deep Grape's way. Even though Deep Grape is starting to run out of fuel. Oh, rolls the Joker. Okay, that's certainly never good. Even though Deep Grape's starting to run out of high-powered threats because he dodged into an 8 there, which is a very mediocre game. Um, Even factoring that in, he's still considerably scarier in this situation just due to the life deficit that Argarg faces. And blocking an attack is going to get him right back up to hand parity very, very quickly, which is going to probably give him enough damage to close out this game. A lot of Lum's wins on a very saturated hand are going to deal anywhere, depending on how. Well, it's hard to define like how much is a block worth, for example, because it lets you poker flourish. So it's hard to say, exactly how much a block is worth. But in general, a lot of his combat wins are going to lead to anywhere from 15 to 30 damage pretty regularly. So yeah, him having anywhere between like 7 and 10 cards is enough for a Lum to get 28 damage through. And 16 is not great for Argarg here. Now 2 jacks will kill him on the chip damage alone. Any hit at all ever in the history of the world will kill him. Okay, he's gonna stock up for a bubble shield here, which is not really gonna do much, but he's got one. And at this point, it's kind of like just waiting to see if Royal Lance can make some kind of miraculous comeback, or if Deep Grape's just gonna take this one down without much contest. All right, it looks like we finally might be coming to a conclusion here in this game. No, not yet. Argar hanging in there. Unfortunately for him, his dodge follow-up here is probably just going to be... Okay, he goes for the throw. He's probably going to power for an ace here, and then go for like a big cross-up into... Yeah, okay. That could very well be the plan. Also worth noting that Deluxe won his game 2-0, which didn't get a chance to see on the stream, but 2-0 it is. So I'm going to update that real fast. Probably shouldn't have done that while this game's still going on, but... Oh boy, jackpot. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh! Lives to the first jackpot. Is there more? No, there's no more jackpots. Okay. That had a 50% chance of just killing. I nearly forgot about jackpot. Okay, there goes the blowfish spikes. Funny enough, even if if he had gone for the big cross up, he would have gotten his 5 of hearts blocked by a 5 of hearts. So that wouldn't have felt too great, even if he went for the big cross up. Yeah, he really is lacking the damage he needs to close this out, and that'll take care of it. Okay, so Deep Grape, 2-0. And all right. Am I a little confused here? Did games already happen? I guess they did. Okay, they did. All right. So, looks like Nation got conquered by Hooves 2-0, and Thilo took out Zem 2-0 as well. So that last round flew by. That was very fast. And for once, I lacked the skill to pick the fastest ending game. Instead, pick the slowest ending one. So we are already in semifinal territory. Wow. Anyway, we have some Zane versus Gwen action going on. This match is interesting because it's just kind of characters with similar goals yet different means of achieving them. Gwen is fast and deals less damage, has less life, whereas Zane is also trying to kill you as quickly as possible. However, he's not as fast and has more life, but hits a lot harder on average. Due to having things like a 9 attack and also having a face card such as his Anarch Crusher, which is a huge 9 damage, and a Linker Queen for 7 damage, compared to like Gwen's Linker Jack for 5 damage. Zane's damage potential is really high on any given turn. And due to his innate shenanigans, he's very card efficient. He gets a lot of free cards because whenever he hits you, whoops, I'm moving my mouse on accident. Because whenever he hits you, he's going to get to look at 2 free cards off his deck and then use one of them as combo if he wants. So he gets a lot of extra ammunition to throw at his opponent without having to spend things from his hand. And here we see he reveals a Jack, which is very powerful. Gonna get a nice full combo here. As we can see, just a random throw leads to a whopping 21 damage. Not very easy to deal with. Oh, goes for the cross up with the 6. Gets blocked. Gonna go for the crash bomb. Oh, tragedy! The worst possible outcome. Not only does crash bomb deal 0 damage, well, actually, it didn't deal 0 damage. It dealt 5 damage to Zane and knocked him down. That is no good. Oh, wow, that was a crazy read. So, Hooves expected Philo to prevent the cross up with a 2, and countered with 2 of his own, which is even faster. Gwen having the fastest normals in the game at 2.0 speed. Or rather, just X.0 speed is what I mean. The 2 being the fastest normal in the game at 2.0. Oh no! Doesn't combo on 13 cards. That's a tragedy. Look at all these cards. How could you not spend some of them? Oh wow. He really thought he had a joker. Okay. Gets a second chance at this. He's almost certainly going to play here, yeah. Goes right into big damage. So we have a game on our hands because that's 28 damage coming at your way. That's an optimal throw combo. Gwen cannot possibly deal any more damage off a throw than that. Oh no! And this king is... I don't think this is quite lethal, but this is gonna hurt really bad. Yeah, it's not over, but that doesn't feel too great. Oh, why did he not leave him in queen kill range? That was so weird. You could have played Links of Ice. What a mistake. There's no reason not to play Links of Ice there and have Thilo at 10 for your queen. There's just no reason. I think he missed that somehow. He only used 5 of his 6 combo points. Thilo needing to feel the need to explain that he's thinking. Let's go over and look at his hand here, see what he's thinking about. He's thinking about death, and he succeeds. Thinking about losing the game. Pulls it off. With startling precision. So, looks like Hooves tied this up 1-1. See how Thilo reacts here. Going to the beep boop master himself. That is interesting. He even says beep boop. I already called that. I'm already ahead of him. Okay, well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to the robot. Happy birthday to you. Not only does he land the throw, he's got the ace to follow it up, and he's got the king to abuse at range. That is what... And he finds the dodge if he wants to do that instead. That is what we call a fortunate sequence of events. Ooh, whoa, blows an ace. What? Okay. So he really wanted to disrupt a potential queen. Is why he played the ace there. But I think the robot's not too sad about that one because at the very least, Gwen's down 8 damage, which would have been confirmed any of 1 billion different ways. So that's never that bad. Oh, he swings for the fences and he hits again! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to the robot. He should definitely combo into a jack here. Doesn't. Interesting. I think the 5 damage would have been easily worth it in that case. Thilo disagrees. Here's a tip to new players. If you have double copies of things that recur or you can get back, always make sure you keep track of which one you played previously so you continue playing that one so they don't know how many you have. Oh, could have gotten the throw this time, but wastes his dodge. Okay, now this is the turn where serious mind games happen. There's a good chance BB doesn't have another dodge, but does Gwen want to attack or continue blocking? Oh! Thilo finds the queen, decides to go for it, which I'm not sure why you'd go for that over the king necessarily, but opts for it. It doesn't work out. Alright, now Thilo wants to have access to a faster poke. The beta thrust is very good at defense at close range. Oh! Even better, draws another race, so now he has access to Piston Hurricane, which is super, super scary. And he's going to play it immediately. Alright, we'll see what Gwen did. Oh, no! Worst possible outcome. Heals him for 6. That's not really what you want your 2 aces to be doing. Oh, man, this is a crazy game. Okay, activates Overdrive. This is going to be to try to trick. He's going for the tricky play. So he activates Overdrive when he actually has no business activating Overdrive. All he's going to try to do here is play an extensor grab. This basically, yeah, he's just going to go for it. Plays the wrong one, though. Oh, it fails! Oh, tragedy. 7 throws for days. Oh, he takes huge damage. Okay, so Gwen is now in the lead despite 2 range opportunities. Philo just happened to guess wrong every single turn at range. And, you know, even though range is incredibly powerful, when you guess wrong every single turn while at range, it's not going to end up, you're not going to come out on top. Oh boy, okay. Things are starting to look grim here. Huge damage again. Another one of those and it's game over. Let's see what Gwen has in her hand. Gwen, can she deal 40? I don't actually think she can deal 40. Did I say 40? I meant 26. I don't know where I got 40 from. I have no idea where I got 40 from. 26 is what I meant. I don't think she can. Doing the real quick. Is she 1 point shy? Oh no, she can. It's just Atlantic King though. Or I suppose a 2, but she can't land one off. She can't win off a throw. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I knew there was some way she couldn't win. Unless these scumbag Thelo say, read the rules. Who's asking a rules question? Oh no, he guesses wrong again! Oh boy. The robot. This is, I don't know if I ever actually came out and said that this is not a match you should ever swap to. But this is not a match you should ever swap to. Gwen kind of dominates BBB. BBB's biggest vulnerability is characters who can attack very swiftly, incredibly often, which is kind of the name of Gwen. Oh, and he gets frozen! He gets frozen! He gets frozen! No Joker! He gets hit by the chains of ice! It's over! There's no Joker! Oh my god! The humanity pops with the Joker of his own! Hooves advancing to the finals. Whoops, that's not a 3. 2. No, not -1. You can put -1. It's hilarious. I didn't know that. Oh man, someone's getting trolled with that later. Alright, this is still going on. Gloria versus Grave. Never a great match for Gloria. However, it's possible that if Grave doesn't have a strong start, Gloria can really stall the game out and dig for her jokers, in which case she could be pretty safe. And this is looking like we're at a state of pretty safe, having been reached. 2 healing spheres are active. We got Overdose, Ace of Hearts going. These are all lovely things for Gloria. Oh, one of them's 10 of hearts even, so he can recur that even if he loses it. So this is the first time we've actually ever seen Gloria on stream, so that's exciting because it's one of my favorite characters in the game. Gloria, for those who are not familiar, is a character who has some dangerous offense, but most of the time her main game plan is to stall and continually trigger her healing ability, which allows her to recur cards of the heart suit from her discard pile, so she can continually find specific cards when she needs them, like for certain situations, and it lets her really kind of outmaneuver the opponent. And then her other crucial thing to know about is Overdose, which is her ace ability. Whenever combat's over, she can play one to make both players take 10 damage, and if she won combat, she gets to draw 2 cards. So it really keeps her hand pretty stocked and allows her to take down her opponents pretty quickly once she decides it's time to go all in. No, that's not what you want to have happen. One of the biggest vulnerabilities of Gloria is to super attacks that are very fast. And that would be the grand I don't know, the best one. I couldn't come with anything clever. But that would be the strongest one. The true power of storms. The true power of here have this 45 damage. Enjoy that. Okay. So any turn where Gloria gets a stall favors her greatly when she has healing spheres going, because what healing sphere does is whenever she heals, she gets to draw an extra card. She has 2 of them attached, meaning whenever she heals, she's drawing 2 extra cards, meaning she's actually outdrawing Grave and healing. So it's very, very dangerous for her to have that going on. Yeah, kind of lost my train of thought there, but I remembered it now. Let's see. Grave only on 5 cards. It's possible that he can't even kill Gloria with his hand. Oh, that's no good. Runs into the Fountain of Light. This is a very powerful single hit, 9 damage, and knocks down at a very, very reasonable 2.2 speed. Looks like Gloria might be stocking up for 3 aces here. Go for a Sun and Moon, which is a big damage starter. Costs 3 aces though. Also, you've seen no jokers from Gloria, so it's incredibly likely that Gloria has found a joker by now. Just goes for the dodge. Again, this is all vastly favoring Gloria right now. Any turn where nothing happens in combat is just huge for Gloria. When she has healing spheres going. When she doesn't have healing spheres going, it's not very good for her at all. When she has healing spheres going, it's very good for her. In fact, getting rid of a healing sphere here, he must have a lot of hearts in his hand. That does not bode well for our healing heroine. Well, that is how to beat Gloria, folks. Just hit her for 90. Simple, right? It's just weird. His grave look like he has an eye patch on. You see this? This is an eye patch. What does he think he's got? Unfortunately, due to the lack of other matches going on right now, not too much to talk about while we wait for Deluxe to get back. So, how about that weather? All right. And we got Deep Grape sticking with Gloria for whatever reason. I guess he likes the match. Not personally one of my favorites is Gloria because True Power Storms is so hard to deal with, as we can see in full effect in that last game. I guess we'll get to see from the top of a match how he handles Grave. Blocking a lightning cloud is not a good start because Gloria only starting with 70 life. Anytime she's taking damage and the opponent's not losing card efficiency, it's not really great for her because he's still gonna have that kind of in a sense makes his Jack deal 11 damage, if you get what I'm saying, because his Jack's still worth 8 and it already dealt 3. So that means he's going to get 11 damage out of that one card. Gloria does not like dealing with incredibly efficient cards like that. I mean, no character does, but when you only have 70 life to work with, that can become a problem very quickly. Ooh. Got to read that Grave was not going to go for the Jack again. And snags a 7th throw, or snags an 8th throw with a 7th throw. See if he has an overdose here or anything like that. Doesn't. That's unfortunate because that would have been a nice time to have one. Goes for the big cross-up attempt. Yeah, it was a heart, which is probably what motivated him to go for that specific card. So that way he has it in the discard, so he has more things to recur, and not only more things to recur, but also he wants to save his other cards to use to recur other cards. So hearts cards in the hand are not as desirable as other suits. So opts to just take a calculated risk there. Didn't work out, but it wasn't the end of the world either. And he's going to punish the dodge attempt here. Okay. Interesting that he's willing to risk the Moonlight Sphere in combat. Gloria's Jack is one of her only um, combat methods of healing. Normally, her main method's through her innate ability, but her Jack allows her to get a heal off of an attack, or off a throw, or off a dodge. Depending on what she wins combat with, it's possible to get it off any of those. So it's often pretty valuable. But here he was very much worried about the Jack from Grave, I suppose. So he wanted to play a faster card, and the Moonlight Sphere is 2.2 speed, so we'll beat that out. But didn't happen here. And once again, he tries to play a card that's going to beat that 2.2 speed. But once again, Grave doesn't bite, and punishes Gloria for it. Oh, and that triggers knowing the opponent fetching a queen because he won combat with the two he had revealed. I actually missed that, but yeah, that is devastating. Gloria has no real answer to a 0.0 speed attack other than to just block or dodge it. Um, she can't trade with it at all, and 10 damage for one card is pretty hefty. And well, there it is, coming right at her face. Okay. Sanctuary is a special block which may or may not exist for very long into the future. So you might not be seeing too much of this card down the line because it might be getting scrapped. But as of right now, it allows her to avoid mix-up normals, and she gets the healing touch effect if she happens to block something with it. Okay. Dodging there is interesting. 5-card Gloria is not what I would consider threatening. So interesting that that's what he goes for. I wonder what his follow-up to that was. Also, he's only at 20 life, so using Overdose is going to be very difficult. So it's going to be interesting to see how he tries to dig himself out of this hole. Gloria is incredibly good at making comebacks, just due to the fact that she can recur pretty fast attacks, and she can heal herself back up. So this game's not over by any means, but I'm not very confident for Deve Grape here. And just to remind everyone, this is the semifinal. This is the last game. Oh, gets the Queen of Hearts blocked. That's not going to help at all. The good news is 24 is a pretty nice life total to have against Grave. Grave's max damage outside of True Power Storms. Okay, well his max damage you could have like 4 kings or something. But aside from that, it's basically impossible for him to deal 24. Okay, and lands a Sanctuary block here. So he's gonna get his queen back. Ooh, powers up 3 queens. All right. So now he's got Gloria's ace attacks are pretty powerful combos. For combos, I mean. She has a 2 ace 18 damage linker, so she can get that off of a throw, or off of any random hit. She also has a 29 damage starter. That costs 3 aces though, so it's kind of risky. But if you happen to land it, it's quite powerful. Ooh. Um, I guess he was trying to fish for that throw into super there, but gets brought back down to reality by a nice little dragon heart to the face. Yeah, at this point he's definitely in lethal range, so he either is going to need to have a Joker or not lose combat, and neither one of those is a fantastic option for him right now. So we'll have to see how he manages to deal with this. And if there's no Joker here, that is certainly going to be game. And there is no Joker. All right. So Deluxe going to take down the semifinal 2-1. That was funny enough. That was our closest set alongside the other semifinal. In the first and second rounds, we had nothing but 2-0s. Then we had a couple 2-1s. And I need to be right back before I get the finals underway. But I'm going to tell these players to get started, and I will join you guys in just a minute here. All right, folks. Sorry about that. I just had to run AFK real quick. A little bit under the weather lately. Just had to grab some cough medicine and get my nostrils a little cleared out. But enough of that garbage. It's time for the grand finals. We have The Lex going with Zane, which is interesting. This is the second time we've seen Zane versus Gwen. So, I'm trying to think about why players are gravitating toward Zane when they know who's picking Gwen. It's certainly not to eat a king on turn 2. Let's see how much damage this leads to. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, wow. That's the 4-5-6. That's not all too shabby. That's going to be good for 27 damage and get yourself an ace. He's low on cards, but before the next combat, he'll be back up to 5, which is enough to get by, I would imagine. As you can see in Zane's hand, there's really not great offense to be had here. Oh, okay, let's throw. Wow, he had a 2 also. He could have sucked that one out there. Reveals absolute nothing off of the crash bomb. That's unfortunate. Just gonna take the 9. Yeah, nothing better he could do there. That is not very common, but the good news is that he's gonna have a higher concentration of good stuff left in his deck at least. So he's bound to find jacks and queens sooner rather than later. Counter throw. Interesting that he dodged there. He just wanted to get the crash bomb going and set up a knockdown, but instead it's a nice 22 damage for his trouble. This game's going by awfully quick, I must say. That is the nature of rushdown character versus rushdown character, though. Oh, crash bomb gets blocked. So I think that was partially telegraphed by the fact that he dodged before, because Zane doesn't have a lot of great dodge options. So if you're dodging, you usually either have some aces, or you have a jack, or you have a king. So who's probably realized, oh, okay, that one was not as telegraphed. That was just straight up either just a great read or just wasn't sure it was going to go on, but he felt blocking was safe. In any event, that is no good. Zane is now potentially dead in one combo due to taking 10 damage. Talk about backfiring. Oh, he gets Shades of Ice! Oh my god! The humanity! Oh my god! Gets the Shades of Ice, it's all over! Okay. I'm sorry, I just get really hyped for Shades of Ice. It's the most exciting thing ever. I'm not saying that just because I'm the one who came up with the ability. Okay, Zane going for the 2-punch early on. That, okay, he's actually gonna get pretty moderate damage off of that. Throw into 9 is pretty sizable, 17 damage against Gwen specifically. It's something you're pretty happy about. However, doesn't really have any great options left in his hand here, so I would not be surprised to see him go for a block, which he's gonna end up doing. Gwen's early game throws usually not that threatening. Okay, yeah, we got a block here. Does he have innate? That's what we're gonna have to see. And it looks like he does. All right, so no block for you, Mr. Zane. Get that out of here. Take 4 damage. Or no, 6. Excuse me, 6 damage. Zane, interesting. As I just mentioned, Gwen's early game throws are not that scary. So normally you don't have to play throw defense too early. You're more worried about her attacks and also just her blocks being pretty powerful because it gets her to a critical mass extremely quickly. So interesting that he opted for that. There, I think Hooves might have been fishing for a crash bomb or something of the sort. Okay, that's now we're talking about Zane combos. So 24 damage, and knockdown is just incredibly devastating. And he's gonna go ahead and set up a cross up into Slipstream phase here with double Joker backup. It seems pretty good. Oh, blocks the cross up. Who's still in this one? Go ahead and swap over to the Gwen cam here. See what he's pondering over. So he does have a queen in his hand, which which he's gonna go for. Yep, beats out the ace ace. That's really big because actually Zane doesn't have very impressive damage anymore. Oh, gets his king dodged. That king was gonna lead to mediocre damage. Actually, could have been a lot scarier. Like as far as the Lux is concerned, that king was probably more scary looking to him than it actually was, knowing Gwen's hand. But nonetheless, okay, finds a second jack. That's rather relevant. If only he had a second ace, he would actually have the cards in his hand to do the maximum Gwen combo, which is 41 damage. For those curious, you have to land Chains of Ice, then combo into a Burn Barrow, and then combo into a Dash Gorger with full pumps on both. On everything, rather. Lands a throw and gets rid of the Joker. That's huge. Oh my god. Okay, so now we are in one hit kill range because that is the other Joker. Unfortunate for Hooves, he's almost certainly going to play into this. I guess luckily for him though, he doesn't actually have a great combo. And there is the Joker. Okay, I lied. That was actually a pretty great combo. He unfortunately lost his lethal damage there. Uh oh. Is that enough? No, that's definitely not enough. But that is some considerable damage. Yeah, 11. Unfortunate that he couldn't find one more point there to get that queen to be lethal. Curious to see if he tries for lethal or just tries to play the safer route and just try to get him to one life. He can get lethal off of a 4 attack, a throw. That's pretty much it. And then he could play the safer route and either dodge or queen. Pretty interesting. Goes for the Gloria's Remedy block. That was not a option on my radar, but whoa, he dodges and then drew the king. That's gonna be lethal. Wow. And Hooves in a flash out of nowhere goes up 2-0 on grand finals. Is Deluxe gonna swap characters or are you gonna stick with Zane? It's panda time apparently. This match is it's pretty back and forth because both characters have a lot of fast attacks. Um, so it's kind of like if Gwen has the fastest ones, but Lum has a lot of the in between ones. Like Gwen has a couple really fast ones, then Lum has a couple really fast ones, and then they kind of start like getting more and more even from there. Um, so like if Gwen happens to match the fast attacks of Lum, then Gwen is gonna destroy him. But if she doesn't have her fastest stuff when he has his fastest stuff, then he's gonna deal a lot of damage pretty quickly. Right there, blocking the queen is a huge benefit for Gwen. Oh, blocks a second queen. That's devastating. He's gonna go into next turn with a gigantic hand. I wouldn't be surprised if he power. Okay, does opts not to power for the extra aces, and he draws one anyway. So good play. And queens here. Yep. Wasn't sure what Lum was gonna do, but he was not worried about block or dodge, so just goes for the safest option of the queen. Assuming, your opponent's not going to block or dodge. Obviously, you could still get damage from playing a queen, but wasn't to be there. Oh, okay, now he lands a throw. This is going to lead to humongous damage. 28 to be exact. Hooves is looking great. Blocking 2 queens in a row gives Gwen all sorts of fuel. And yeah, lands another throw, and this one not quite as damaging, but not feeling great in the morning either. I don't think Lum's gonna be too happy with that one tomorrow. Interesting that he didn't power up those jacks, because now he actually doesn't have lethal off a throw. Okay, well, it wasn't to be anyway, but I really think you should power up those jacks so his throw combos are lethal. Okay, roll the dice reveals an 8, so he gets that queen back, so Deluxe is not out of defense yet. Okay, there we go. Does power him up, which I would have done last turn, but still, better late than never. Jackpot, this could very easily hit. Nope, doesn't. Does reveal a 7, though. So Lum does know. Uh oh, jackpot again. Yep, of course. Hits an ace. Why not? Ooh, who's not going with the obvious play? Wonder if that's going to backfire. Oh, it does not backfire. It actually pays off. Automatic face down here. I think you probably play the aces anyway. I don't know. You could just play the queen. I think playing nothing is very wrong though. Okay, he's gonna go for the queen. Yep. That's fine. That's just a completely reasonable play because he still has his 2 aces for lethal. Getting Dreadlands Portal now, so now he's got a 50-50 mix-up of throw or dodge for the game. Looks like dodge is the choice. Oh no, it's throw. But he didn't throw a Dreadlands Portal. Interesting. And that's all she wrote, folks. 3-0. Gwen, taking one home. Congratulations to Hooves. And congratulations to Deluxe, Thelo, and Deve Grape for all getting in top 4. 3-0. That was quite the demonstration.